Oh boy, is it going to be a big week for the stock market this week, guys. We got a lot to break down in this video. The markets in general, we're going to break down stocks, 10 in particular, 8 of which are reporting earnings this week, 2 of which obviously are not reporting earnings. So we got a lot to break down in this video, kind of just my game plan for this upcoming week and what I'm looking at on these charts. So sit back, relax, take a sip of whatever you're drinking. I got some water in here. Whatever you're drinking, enjoy that. Let's get into the video. And with that being said, let's dive into the video. So the way I start these videos on Sunday, guys, typically is we look at the futures, but right now the futures market is not open. So let's just look at SPY, Triple Q, and kind of see what happened last week and what I'm noticing on these larger time frames. And then we'll take a look at the 5-day chart, 20-day. We'll take a look at some of the smaller time frames. So right off the bat, we noticed that number one, SPY, and I believe Triple Q as well. Let's look at these together to save time here. SPY and Triple Q, yeah, both of these are slightly above still, even though we sold off pretty aggressively on Friday. And mind you, if you guys forgot, on Friday, NASDAQ down 2.7%, Dow down 1%, S&P down 1.6%. We had the Russell down a good chunk. So it was a bloody Friday, and even though it was a bloody Friday, we're still above these moving averages on the 4-hour chart, again, for Triple Q and for SPY, which is a good sign. But if we dive into these smaller time frames, what we're noticing is, let's pull up this 5-day or maybe the 20-day on SPY. What we're noticing here is if it wants to load, there we go. We are a little bit under the 50 moving average, but on top of that, we are above the 180 moving average. This is on the 20-day chart. So this looks like we're still holding an uptrend on this 20-day time frame and on the 5-day as well. Let's pull up the 5-day and see what's going on. We hit 418 after hours on Thursday, and if you look at that chart, I mean, this chart and the 20-day, it seems like Friday, although it was a very big sell-off, I mean, I don't want to say a very big sell-off, but it was a decent sell-off, solid sell-off. We're still uptrending, regardless, right? So that's a good sign for the bulls. The fact that SPY is holding above, let's say, 408, 409. Mind you, that was, above the lows from Thursday and Friday and above the high from the middle of May. If you guys recall, S&P 500 via SPY here topped at about 408, 409. So the fact that we held, above 410 on Friday, we closed above it. That is a very good sign for the bulls. And if I pull up Triple Q here, and I wish I filmed this, after 6 because the futures market opens up at 6 p.m. on the East Coast. So we would see what the futures are looking like, although they do flip-flop overnight. I still wish we could look at them together, but let me know in the comments down below. I'm really curious to see how things end up opening up tomorrow. Are we going to get a pop at these major support levels on SPY Triple Q, or are we going to get bears to get, selling pressure under these points? Because look, Triple Q is also right around the highs from the middle of May, holding them as support right now. And also, like SPY, Triple Q held above Wednesday's lows, Thursdays and Fridays, or not Fridays. It was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We held above that 303, 304 level. We closed at 306 on Friday. So I think this, sell-off we saw on Friday, based on the charts right now, was simply a little pullback, profit taking within the overall relief rally that we're seeing. Now, if we get a huge dump under 300 for Triple Q, let's say if SPY sees a big dump under maybe 408, 405, 400, then my opinion on that might change. In fact, it will change considering the charts are going to be different at that point. If that ends up panning out, if that scenario ends up playing out. And on top of the market craziness we've been seeing, earnings, all that, it's going to get spicy this week, guys, because on Friday, we're going to get the CPI data for May, this June 10th at 8:30 a.m. on Friday, and that's 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast, 1 hour before the market opens on Friday. We get the May CPI data, and we all know inflation's been very hot, and I do think, I have to double check and look more into it. I do think inflation is going to be a little less hot this month. We shall see. And we'll talk more about it throughout the week, as we get closer to Friday. It's only Sunday. We have a bunch of days ahead of us here, guys, and you all know 3-4 days in the markets. In these markets we're in, I mean, that's a long time. A lot of things could happen in 3-4 days in these crazy markets. So make sure you guys subscribe, because we will be talking again about, the CPI data, the markets, all throughout the week leading up to Friday. And with that being said, let's now talk about some stocks, which 8 of which are reporting earnings, 2 of which are not reporting earnings. But before we do that, you guys got to get your free money from Moomoo. You get up to 5 free shares of stock, each up to $2,500. All you got to do is go to stocksurfest.com/Moomoo, or simply go down below in the description box or the comment section and use that link. All you got to do from there is deposit at least $100, and you get up to 5 stocks, each up to $2,500. Literally free money, guys. And if you want more free stocks, why not? You could also get 6 stocks from Webull using that link down below and depositing any amount of money. So you can get up to 11 stocks, link down below, guys. And it also helps out the channel. I appreciate all of you for using the links down below as always. And with that being said, let's dive into these 10 stocks. The first stock here is Dave & Buster's, which is one that I talked about. I think the most recent time I talked about Dave & Buster's was I made a video maybe a month ago. I forget exactly when I made it, but I made a video going over, stocks that I think could go to zero over time, the next couple of years. I think Dave & Buster's, don't hate on me in the comments, guys, but I think I mentioned Dave & Buster's in that video. And I'm not saying for sure they're going to go to zero, for sure go bankrupt, but it's in the cards, in my opinion, unless they start turning things around for the better. We shall see. But right now, they're set to report on the 7th of June, which is on Tuesday, and I believe that's in the morning. Let me double check. Before the market on Tuesday, with average EPS estimate. If you guys haven't watched my videos, the Sunday videos, each stock that we talk about that reports earnings, I give you guys the average EPS and average revenue estimate based on 20, 25 analysts, depending on what stock it is, right? And I use Yahoo Finance. It's free. They're not sponsoring this video or anything like that, but I use Yahoo Finance to get that data, and there's a lot of other websites you can use as well. So right now, the average EPS estimate for the quarter coming up that they're about to report on is $1.16. So they're looking to be profitable on average revenue at the estimate, $440.84 million. So that's not bad for Dave & Buster's. They went from losing a crap ton of money during COVID, right? If you guys see all these negative quarters here, negative EPS quarters on ThinkOrSwim, you guys can see that here, right? They went from being negative, now they're turning profits, guys. They're starting to look a little bit better, and who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they don't go bankrupt. Maybe they don't go to zero over time. We shall see, guys, if Dave & Buster's does end up standing the test of time. What do you all think? Let me know down below in the comments. And in terms of this chart, look at this. On the 4-hour chart, we are seeing a death cross, and now with Friday's 6.5% sell-off, we are under both moving averages again, which is not good. And look at this. Dave & Buster's is now down about $17 from the recent high, or in other words, 32%. So about 2 months ago, Dave & Buster's stock was killing it. It was running like crazy. Now it's down 35% pretty much from that point. And for me, I'm not looking to touch it until it starts getting back into this channel here. Let me show you. If this is able to get back in this channel, starting to get back over these moving averages again, that's where I'd consider buying it, playing it, right? But for now, I'm not touching it, and I'm going to set my alert. I might as well just set one at maybe $40, $41.50 roughly. I'll just put one at $40 for now, mark as at or above, and we will see what it ends up doing from there. So stock one is Dave & Buster's for this week. Number 2, we have Thor Industries. THO's the ticker. This is another one that's just been, destroyed, guys, from $130, $66 recently. It is down 48%. Very big sell-off. And if you guys don't know what Thor Industries is, you probably don't. Maybe some of you do. I don't know. I bet a lot of you do. But some of you don't. I know that for sure. They make RVs, accessories for RVs, parts, all that good stuff. You guys know RVs, those, big mobile homes, essentially. Have you guys seen the movie RV? That's a very good movie. That is what Thor Industries does, right? And at this point, we're in a recession. Let's be honest. Inflation's running. And I think RVs, people buying an RV, is not on the front of everyone's checklist right now. Unless you're freaking multimillionaire, you're rich, and you don't give a crap about your spending. You have a lot, well, you might care about your spending, but you have a lot of extra money to spend, right? If you're rich, I guess fine. Thor Industries, you're still a customer, but the average, person, maybe you can afford it. Maybe you can still afford it. They might not want to go and purchase an RV right now, even if you can't afford it. They might want to keep that in cash, as we're, again, most likely in a recession, all this inflation, uncertainty. People might not want to go and buy an RV right now, right? Let's be honest here. And the stock price kind of reflects that. And we got to see what these numbers are looking like. They're reporting on the 7th, or actually on the 8th, before the market opens, which is what? On Wednesday. And their average EPS estimate is $4.72. Average revenue estimate is $4.18 billion. So we shall see, guys. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people are buying a bunch of RVs. Maybe their guidance is looking very strong. And if so, it might reverse. And I'm going to put an alert here at $80 to see if that ends up happening. So we shall see, guys. The next one is Five Below. Let's pull that up. Five Below has been getting killed as well from 220. Now it's at 130, and it actually got all the way down to 110. So at one point, it was down 50%. Now it's down 40%, and it's still under the moving averages, and we have a death cross, which is not good. So they report on the 8th, which is on Wednesday. Let's see what time they report. They report after the bell, and their average EPS estimate is 58 cents. Average revenue estimate is $653.9 million. So Five Below, I think, is a company that will do well regardless of whether we're in a recession or not. I think this company will do well. It's kind of like Dollar Tree and Dollar General. It's not the same per se. If you actually shopped at Five Below and you go to the Dollar Tree, it's a little bit different, but it's a place where people go without, not to spend a lot of money. People aren't going to Five Below with $300 or $1,000 and buying a bunch of stuff. People are going, for the most part, with maybe 20, 30, $50, and that's what they're spending. And that's what people can do even during recessionary times. I think this business will do completely fine. And we're noticing, again, it's down a lot, about 40%, which is a big dump. It's in a bear market. So let's see what these numbers are looking like. Let's see what guidance is looking like. Like I always say, guys, when it's earnings season, guidance is what, is the most important at the end of the day. What are the next quarters looking like? What's the full year looking like? That's what I'm very interested to see from Five Below. And who knows, maybe they end up shocking us on their earnings, and we saw what happened with Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree ripped like no other, and I think Five Below started running right when that started happening. Dollar General started going bananas. What happened? Was it Target? No, Target dumped, rather. Yeah, Target did not do well. What was the one that shot up? Yeah, Costco made a move, upwards after earnings. So let's see what goes on with Five Below. Docusign is another one, which I believe is one of Cathie Wood's biggest investments, guys. This is one of her biggest investments, and they're reporting this week. So Cathie Wood, and if you own ARK, I think it's in the main fund, ARKK. If you own that stock, or an ETF rather, or you're a follower of Cathie Wood, you got to watch out for Docusign because, again, this is a big position for her fund. They report earnings on the 9th, which is, what's that, Thursday? Let's see what time this is, 3:30 p.m. Central Standard, so that's after the bell. And their average revenue estimate is $581.76 million. Average EPS is 46 cents. So they're going to be profitable, but if you look at these past couple of quarters, they did 58 cents 2 quarters ago, 48 cents. Now they're looking to do 46. So EPS is coming down a little bit, but I want to see what guidance is going to be looking like for Docusign. This is a growth company, and if those growth rates are not looking up to par or, a lot lower than people expected, don't be surprised if we get a 30% drop in Docusign or a 20% drop in Docusign. That's very possible. What company just reported recently that Cathie Wood owns, and the stock went down 40%? What freaking stock was that? Gosh, I got to go look at her fund right now because this is gonna. I'm not gonna be able to film this if I don't mention the stock. Hold on, guys. Oh, that's what it was. Teladoc, right? Yeah, TDoc is one that just reported for her, and that stock ended up getting demolished. And I think that was a top 5 holding for her. So let's see. I mean, Docusign, Teladoc, these are speculative companies. Let's see how it pans out. The next one that's not so speculative, that's been doing very well, is Campbell Soup, guys. Look at this. CPB is the ticker. It is down recently, though, a little bit, 11%. But year to date, I saw on, I forget where I saw this. I think it was on Yahoo Finance. They're up 5% year over year, or not year over year, year to date, rather. 5% guys. So this is one that I'm watching very closely. Uptrend's holding. It is under the moving averages, but again, it's up 5% year to date while the markets are getting destroyed. It is one worth watching. We've come down a little bit. They're expected to do 61 cents EPS on earnings. Earnings are on the 8th of this month, so that's on Wednesday, on average revenue of $2.05 billion. And Campbell Soup is a company that can really fight inflation pretty well. You know, they could pass that price to consumers, you know, and they pay a nice dividend. They're paying 37 cents a share. It's kind of a defensive stock at the end of the day. You know, I think it's going to be doing well in the meantime here. And once things, you know, inflation starts cooling off, then maybe Campbell Soup starts to fall to the back burner and maybe growth stocks start coming back at that point. But we're not there yet, guys. We are not even close to being there yet, which is why I'm watching Campbell Soup. The next one here is ASO, and we got to start speeding through here, guys. I feel like I'm spending too much time on these stocks. ASO is Academy Sports and Outdoors. This went down 3% on Friday, and overall, it is up about 45% in the past couple of days. So just because it went down on Friday, guys, it doesn't matter, because again, this thing went from $24 up 40%. Now it's at $35. They report on the 7th, which is on Tuesday. Average revenue estimate of $1.45 billion. Average EPS estimate $1.41. So I'm going to put my alert right at $38 for ASO. And this is not a company that I'm very well versed with, but they sell a lot of, you know, basic stuff, you know, well, I guess not basic, but, you know, a lot of sporting equipment, outdoors equipment, things like that. So go look into ASO. Let's see how this ends up performing. And then we also have NIO, some Chinese companies. I own a little bit of NIO, guys. It's a very small speculative position for me. I've owned it for, probably over 2-3 years at this point, close to 3 years. I don't know. I got to go double check. But since before the whole craziness during the pandemic, right, I owned it before that. And you guys, my early viewers, let me know in the comments. Do you remember that? I know some of you guys remember me talking a lot about NIO 3 years ago. So this is one that's reporting on, let's see here, the 9th, which is on Thursday. Their average EPS estimate's negative 13 cents. Average revenue estimate, $1.49 billion, which is up 21% year over year. Not too bad, guys. China's economy struggling. We're obviously struggling over here, which I guess doesn't really matter because they don't sell cars here. But yeah, the whole world is they're going through it right now. This is a point where the economy is slowly contracting, the world economy as well. And they're still doing pretty well, guys, up 21% year over year. That's if they do $1.49 billion. And the stock is a little bit above these moving averages. It is slowly starting to see a golden cross as well, which is great. So let's see what it does. You know, 9th of this month, we have earnings, and we also have earnings on the 9th for Bilibili, which, if you guys don't know, Bilibili is kind of like a video service. It's kind of like a YouTube over there in China. I actually went on the website today, and obviously I can't read anything on the website. But yeah, it's kind of like a video streaming platform. It's very similar, right? And they're reporting on the 9th, like I said, average EPS estimate of 62 cents in the red, so they're going to be unprofitable for the quarter. Average revenue estimate, $753.96 million, up 25.2% year over year. So not too bad. NIO and Bilibili, both of them are expected to grow over 20% year over year. And Bilibili stock is down a lot, guys, a lot. I'm talking 75% from $90 back in November. Now it's at 25. And where was it at all-time highs? $157 Oh my goodness, guys. This thing is down probably 90%. Or 85%. All right. That's a lot. So Bilibili is one that I might look deeper into. I'm not saying that I'm going to go buy it tomorrow, but I'm going to look a little bit deeper into it, the numbers, financials, all that good stuff. So what do you guys think? Let me know. Now let's go over two more, which is Tesla and Apple. Tesla and Apple, their charts look very similar here. TSLA on the 4-hour is right at the 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Same as Apple. This is going to be a moment of truth for these stocks, guys. Do we get a big dump under this moving average? In that case, the markets are probably going to be getting hit as well. Or do we get buyers to come in on Apple at 145, 146, 147 to get it back over the 180 moving average, which is in the mid 150s. That's kind of what I'm looking for this week, guys. Same thing for Tesla. Tesla at 700 is going to be very critical, right around that moving average. You know, if we get a big dump towards mid 600s, low 600s, that's not going to be good for the bulls at all. But if bulls can get us to 730, 50 plus, then there could be another rally in store for these stocks. It's going to be a big week. We got a lot of earnings reports coming up, the CPI data. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Hit that like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're trying to get to 25,000 subscribers, guys. We are about 20 off. Actually, no, 14 subscribers off. Make sure to subscribe and get your free money from Moomoo. 5 stocks, each up to $2,500 with a $100 deposit, and you can get 6 stocks from Webull. Link down below, and feel free to join my Patreon as well if you want. All my buys, sells, call outs, morning videos, all that good stuff is on Patreon. Link down below, or go to stocksurfest.com/Patreon to join. Check it out. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, peace out.